Hello, and welcome to the Narrowing Path, walking the spiritual walk. My name is Stephen Einstein. Thank you all for joining me again tonight as we go through and do today's daily reading, the last day in November of James Allen's Daily Meditations. I'm very excited about this because we're coming into the 12th month, finishing up this year, and it's been a great year, a great recentering, and it's been a realigning year for me. I was brought a lot of good information, a lot of old stuff that I had forgotten about potentially, and it's just it's been great. So I'm excited to see how November ends, and then excited to see how December gets going and how this year rounds out. So this will be fresh to you and fresh to me, meaning that you'll get my genuine response, reactions, observations, and what I relate to about the reading. As this will be the first time that I hear or read the podcast, the meditation right on this podcast with y'all. So here we go. This is November 30th reading of James Allen's Daily Meditations. True resolution is the crisis of long thought. It's an interesting line. Half-hearted and premature resolution is no resolution at all. It is shattered at the first difficulty. A man should be slow to form a resolution. He should searchingly examine his position and take into consideration every circumstance and difficulty with his decision, and should be fully prepared to meet them. He should be sure that he completely understands the nature of his resolution, that his mind is finally made up, and that he is without doubt in the matter. With the mind thus prepared, the resolution that is formed will not be departed from, and by the aid of it, a man will, in due time, accomplish his strong purpose. Hasty resolutions are futile, however you'd like to say it. This is great. This is what many people need to hear. A lot of people make impulsive, emotional, half-hearted decisions without true recognition of what it's going to entail. And you're setting yourself up. I did this. I'll keep it on me. I would continuously set myself up to fail at taking actions and actually following through on resolutions. And that harmed me in the way of believing resolutions didn't mean anything. Right? Because I always broke them. I never held confidence or faith that I could change that. So it really harmed me because I kept failing at my resolutions, what I wanted to do. And this can go from drugs and alcohol use. This can be smoking. This can be um, pornography for some even. This could be, I mean, my most recent experience is with sugar. I've wanted to quit eating, and I'm not talking about carbs and everything either. I mean, I'm just talking about cakes and sweets of that nature, you know, and soda. I cut those two things out because there's zero benefit to them. Zero. All they do is add weight and feed a gluttonous heart that I seem to have. Um, but I would constantly fail at it because I wouldn't really thoroughly understand the resolution I was making. It was an impulsive decision. Oh, I want to lose weight, or oh, I just want to be healthier. I feel like it's making my brain fog worse, or anything. Then I want that temporary. I want the immediate result of the change. I want an immediate benefit of it. It didn't. It took a long time, and I won't lie to you. I'm only about 4 weeks into it now. But this is the longest I've gone without a soda. This is the longest I've gone without a piece of cheesecake specifically, but cookies or a regular cake or brownie, And it's not like I was a horrendous overeater of it necessarily. I definitely loved it. There was a time I was eating cheesecake every day, guys. So that I would binge, but the reality of it was it wasn't to the level of other problems there had been in my life, right? But I kept not being able to keep it down. It wasn't until I really understood its implication in every area of my life, and it seems weird to say that, but like the things I would eat at work, things I would eat on trips in the car, things I would eat at restaurants, things I would eat at home. What would I do in place of it in case I got a craving for a soda? So once in a while I picked up a just a mineral water, carbonate, or a seltzer or something like that. Something without all the crap in it, you know? And I have a plan to get through this and get through these cravings and change the way I'm living, which is just a beautiful thing and something I'm just eternally grateful for. Because they do, let me tell you, if you haven't cut sugar out, like it genuinely makes you feel better. But I kept failing, is what I'm telling you, until I actually took seriously what the resolution was and took a look at what it entailed. And also, my reasoning wasn't to achieve a specific end goal, it was to genuinely be healthier and remove that from my diet. And as a side effect to that, I'll get some pretty cool um, results. But the goal was to just be healthier. The goal was I just I wanted it removed from my life. I wanted it out. And this is the best I've ever done. So I guess I'll keep you updated as we go. But the reality of it is I feel better now. And I feel like I'm more prepared now because I've given it the honest thought. So this opening line, true resolution is the crisis of long thought. You really have to think of how these things are going to affect you. You'll get a full understanding of what will change, and you'll get a full understanding of what you will be facing in your life. It is the crisis of long thought. What did it say yesterday? It was not content with his current situation or current circumstance. Then you think about how to change what you can't change. Then you think through what that change would fully do and how it would ripple in all areas. So this first line of the main body of this half-hearted and premature resolution is no resolution at all. It is shattered at the first difficulty. That was every time I quit smoking until I finally actually quit. That was every time I tried to quit using drugs and alcohol on my own without someone there to help guide me. This is every time I've tried to quit sugar, every time I've tried to quit soda, every time I've tried to quit any pleasure driven behavior. It always shattered. I always lost it because I wasn't fully prepared to take on the challenge. Just wasn't. Excuse me, bud. A man should be slow to form a resolution. Don't do this hastily. This is a resolution is not something to be made just because it's January 1st. It's not something to be made because you're upset with how you look. It's not something to be made because you want a person back in your life. You're in an emotional state because your partner left you, right? Making a resolution based on a current emotional situation will always fail. Always. It will always fail. So you might get the idea for resolution in the emotion, but you have to fully explore it before you actually commit to it. And it's And it's your responsibility, really, to do that. It's doing right by you to actually explore what that resolution entails first, instead of setting yourself up to reinforce the fact that you're a failure and you can't ever change. 'Cause that's what happens if you don't. He should searchingly examine his position and take into consideration every circumstance and difficulty with his decision, and should be fully prepared to meet them. So, excuse me, I just knocked my mouse off my desk. Apologize for that. Let's read that part again. He should searchingly examine his position and take into consideration every circumstance and difficulty with his decision, and should be fully prepared to meet them. Right. So, like all those situations I was talking about, like when I quit smoking, what I was going to do in the car, when I got into it, when I got out of it, what was I going to do after I ate? What was I going to do after I had sex? Seem like almost dumb questions, but I had to consider this. What was I going to do on my break at work? Why did I smoke? Right? This is this purification process I kind of went through for cigarettes. Why did I smoke in the first place? Oh, because it gave me a break from conversations. It was an easy way to let someone know that I was done talking to them without having to be a jerk. Or it let me have a break outside of my office, maybe. Or there was the social aspect of it. Other people were. Let me start a conversation with somebody. I used it as a tool to cover up my own inability to have boundaries and have my own insecurities. So I had to look at this. What did that behavior do for me? How did it serve me? And where did it show up? And I had to thoroughly examine it in every part of my life. So I could be so I could have a plan as to how to handle it in those moments. At least try. It might not work, but if it can get me through, I can try something different next time. He should be sure that he completely understands the nature of his resolution, that his mind is finally made up, and that he is without a doubt in the matter. This is the foundation for making a commitment, this resolution. Completely understands the nature of his resolution, that his mind is finally made up. We're done with it. Done. And that he is without a doubt in the matter. Okay, I think I'm saying that wrong. And he is without a doubt in the matter. There was no reservations held. It's not, well, I'm going to quit drinking until my daughter gets married. I'm going to quit drinking unless my brother dies, or I'm going to quit drinking unless life doesn't go my way. If I lose this job, I'm going to drink it. No, you're just done. You don't want the behavior, regardless of circumstance. You don't want to act that way anymore. You don't want to practice that behavior any longer. You have to be fully convinced. Some 12-step programs, I would say, fully concede to our innermost self. With the mind thus prepared, the resolution that is formed will not be departed from, and the aid of it, a man will, in due time, accomplish his strong purpose. So, with the aid of this resolution, and you discarding character defects, you're discarding bad habits, and you're practicing a different way of living and practicing a growth place to operate from, will suddenly be a step in the path of achieving and finding your purpose in this life. Every resolution you make to improve upon yourself that is thoroughly investigated, understood, and moved forward will help you with your purpose in the long run. Now, this reading ends with this: hasty resolutions are futile. There's no purpose for them. You don't, might as well not even try. An offhanded statement of a resolution will only leave you disappointed and defeated because there's no way you can stand by it. The rare time that you actually do is not worth the amount of times you won't. And every time you don't, you teach yourself that you can't. And that's a painful place to be. So, all right. Well, that was it for November. That was fantastic. Loved that. Great one for this time of year. So maybe we can get some people thinking about what resolutions they want to make and really take the actions and the exploration needed to get to that resolution. So definitely looking forward to seeing what December brings us. And thank y'all for going along on this journey with me. It's something I greatly appreciate. So I'll be back again tomorrow for December 1st. So until next time, thanks.